Learning goal number 13, adding and subtracting fractions. When we are adding or subtracting fractions, we have to make sure we follow this information. To add or subtract fractions, you must have a common denominator. So for example, say I have 3 over 2 plus 6 over 4. I need to make the denominators the same so I can be able to add them. Okay, to do that, you have to think about their multiples. So what multiples of 2 and 4, what's the least common multiple of those two? Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 4, 8, 10, their least common multiple would be 4. So I would leave the 4 the same, and over here I would multiply by 2 on top and bottom of that fraction to make this denominator have a denominator of 4. And then after I have the same denominators or common denominators, I add or subtract the numerators, the tops of the fractions. And then from there I simplify. Example number 1, 5 over 11 minus a negative 4 over 11. Well, minus a negative, that's a positive first thing. So if I just rewrite that with a positive. Second thing I need to realize is that the denominators are already the same. They're both 11. Great. That just means I can add the tops. 5 over 11 plus 4 over 11 gives you 9 11ths. And then you always double check to see if it is simplified. 9 and 11, they don't have any common factors. So that's as simplified as it gets. Example number 2, we have negative 3/4 minus 5/6. So in this case, the denominators are different. We have 4 and 6. So our first goal is to make sure those denominators are the same. Okay, multiples of 4 would be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, so on. Multiples of 6, 6, 12, 18, 24. So their least common multiple would be 12, right? 4. You can multiply by 3 to get 12. 6, you can multiply by 2 to get 12. So I have to give them both a denominator of 12. That's the goal. Well, I multiply a 4 by a 3 to get 12, so I'll multiply the bottom and the top. 3 times 3 is 9. There's a negative right here. I'm just going to associate the sign with the top. And it's subtraction, so that's plus a minus. To multiply to get 12 on the bottom, I multiply by 2. So I have to multiply by 2 on top. 5 times 2 is 10. All right, now that I have the same denominator, I can add the tops or subtract the tops. In this case, I got negative 9 plus negative 10. And that's negative 19 over 12. Now, I can leave it as an improper fraction, or I can change it to a mixed number. 12 goes into 19 one time with a remainder of 7. So your answer is negative 19 over 12 or negative 1 and 7/12. Example number 3. We have 3 3/5 minus 2 2/3. Now, always change mixed numbers to improper fractions when adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing fractions. So for example, 3 3/5, 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18 over 5. Minus 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8 over 3. Okay, always change them to improper fractions first. Now I can go with the addition and subtraction, but I have to make sure the denominators are the same. Their least common multiple, or the least common denominator in this case, would be 15. So 5 times 3, 18 times 3 over here. 3 times 18, that's going to be 54. 3 times 5, that's 15. Okay, plus a minus, right? That's subtraction, so I'm adding a negative. Over here, multiply 3 by 5 to get 15, so you got to multiply 8 by 5. 8 times 5 is 40. 3 times 5 is 15. Now I have the same denominators. I can add 54 plus negative 40. 54 plus negative 40, you got $54. Take away 40. You got $14 left. The denominators do not change. 14 over 15. Okay? So we are adding and subtracting. We want to make sure the denominators are the same. And then we add or subtract across the top and simplify. Also, anytime you're working with mixed numbers, change those to improper fractions. All right, now we need to take a second and try these few problems on your own.